Alright, back on the Redcliffe Farms.
That was some riding.
Yes, yes, it was awesome, if I don't say so myself. Running around in circles for the last 30 minutes. And now that we got that out of the way, how about we go deal with this wolf problem that the farmer's wife was referring to, thinking that all the wolves must be possessed, having lost their minds. I would agree, it was the first thing that attacked us when we got here. And all your followers will mention that that is unnatural. Of course, Solus being the one to nail it, he says, well, it must be a demon controlling the pack. And of course, we know that to be the case, because the wolves aren't acting much different than these mages and Templars who have lost their minds. And fully convinced they're all being controlled by demons. Just don't act like that. They attack everything on sight. If it moves, it dies type of thing. And, well, the wolves are doing the same thing. And we will prove that we can take care of this problem, that the wolves can show more common sense than your average people. Really. After this, they'll leave us alone. Which is good, because I'm really tired of killing them, honestly. Poor little guys. They can't help it. They wouldn't attack me. I mean, you know, they might, you know, go after a sheep, the odd sheep or cattle here and there when they're hungry, but I mean, that's natural. So I'm really not a big fan of killing animals in any way, shape, or form. Except for nugs. I might kill a nug out of just malicious every once in a while. I might be guilty of that.
Those must be the wolves Elena wanted us to kill.
That's just Blackwall's astute sense of observation. You know what I'm saying?
I heard you were in the
Blackwall.
training yard this morning.
Oh, I was running new recruits through some drills. Should I be quieter next time?
No, it's fine. Children don't learn unless you shout at them.
Blackwall's ability to see the finer details, like, you know, the absolute obvious.
Could be the lair of these strange wolves.
You think? I mean, I wouldn't have known. You know, this den, this cave here, full of wolves, might be the wolf cave, the wolf den. You think? Wow. Pure genius. He means well, though. I think. All right, so get these last few dogs out of the way. Poor guys. Yeah, I'm really not liking that sound when they die. That's the Mabari too. That's even worse because I personally have this attachment to Mabari, and the game makes me kill them.
Demon!
And I miss having a dog. I kind of wonder why they removed that. I wonder if they explain that sometime later in the game, why we don't have dogs. There being no loyal Mabari or something.
The farmers should be safe now.
I expect the wolves are also pleased to be freed from the demon's control.
Right? And I'm pleased they're freed from the demon's control, because now I don't have to kill them anymore. Seriously. Now, the Blades of Hessarian, their chief, that jerk bandit leader dude, he had two guard dogs. In fact, they were really the hard part of the fight. Two guard dogs with a bunch of extra health and armor and stuff. And they were loyal to him, apparently. Or were they under his control somehow? By some means. Huh, I don't know. There's probably a codex somewhere to explain that, and I probably missed it. But if you can have loyal Mabari, then I would like to see an explanation as to why they've taken that away, because that was kind of a staple of the first two Dragon Age games. First game, it was basically part of your story, your origin. Either you had a dog, or you came across the dog at Ostagar. And then in the second one, your dog was kind of like a what do they call it? A sustained ability. Essentially, you could summon. It was a summons. And then in this one, there isn't one. You can summon a horse that magically vanishes into thin air, but no dog. Now, that's just my experience. I don't know, maybe there will be an option to getting Mabari later, once we find some new housing or something. No spoilers, but at a later point in the game. It's possible, I guess, and I don't know. If it happens, I'll be glad. If not, I'll kind of wonder why. Okay, now there was a note in another house that we picked up, and it led to that box. And I've never found anything but that grenades belt in it, which is something I don't even personally use. But, it is what it is. I forget the name of the site. It was something Finders Keepers or something. I don't know. It just showed it at the top of the screen. But, that's another little side thing there at the farms. A few Crystal Grace, and that's really cool. Actually, if you're looking for Crystal Grace for the healer in Redcliffe, then keep this in mind. This wolf den, come to think of it, because I believe it requires 2 to give her what she needs for whatever potion she's trying to make. So, that is definitely a thought. Because that was 2 that we just found right there. Let's get rid of these guys, then we'll go try to find this Druffalo, who is normally being harassed by wolves, but now that we have the wolf situation done, we should be able to just grab the old Druffalo dude and take him home. Give me a home where the Druffalo roam. Get it? Get it? Alright, no. Oh, now that we've run the races and gotten our new mount, now we have a horse to call, so we can go back over there by the ice rune pattern cave and see if we can't grab that mosaic piece. It's kind of glitched up there. That the cave we just came from, by the way, is where the 12th piece is, but it's up behind one of those rock faces up on top, and I spent several hours trying to find different ways to climb and get up there, and I got up there on one side, but there was no way past it. It was kind of like a off-the-map type place where you really probably weren't supposed to be anyway. And there was no way that I could find to either get through the ground, to morph through the rock face, to fall through the map, to find some way once I was up above where I think the mosaic piece would have basically been. Like I say, it's basically hidden inside a rock face. Now, I'm assuming... Yeah, I'm only guessing, unless it's just glitched and they haven't fixed it yet in an update, which is strange because the game's been out for a while now. I would think they would fix something like that. But I'm thinking maybe there's a point later in the game to come back here where the map changes. Like maybe something happens to that cave, it gets developed or mined for something, and that rock face falls down, and then wherever that mosaic piece is, it becomes available. Accessible, and for right now it's hidden. Like the one we're about to go grab over there by the Ice Rune Cave, it's in a kind of a glitched area. I mean, you'll see it's textured, it's done. It doesn't look like it's all just kind of flat, you know, afterthought, out of the map, a place where you're not supposed to be. Like a lot of times when you fall through the map, you'll see things that aren't rendered, they're not detailed around you because they weren't really supposed to be seen. It's not really like that. I mean, it's detailed and stuff. Go ahead and take this Druffalo back to his house. Yeah, it's detailed where the mosaic piece is. You can tell you can go there, but at the same token, there's like some... Oh, we'll see when we get there. There's like holes in the floor, and they drop you out of the map. They drop you to a place that you can't get back from. You have to literally fast travel to get out of there. And I've explored those, too, to see if there wasn't some hidden tunnel or something, and it wouldn't have really mattered because once you fall down, there's no way back up anyway. So, I don't know. We'll see when we get there. I'll point it out. I'll show you. But if you're stuck at 10 pieces, this will be most likely the 11th piece that you're missing. If you haven't ever explored this little, what do you call it? Glitch, shortcut? I don't know.
Thank you. I appreciate you finding her. and I'll see to it that this never happens again.
You make sure you do that. Of course, with no wolves around, that probably won't happen again. I guess they chased him off and then cornered him, and they were going to have Druffalo for lunch. Druffalo wolf lunch. Right on, man. Okay, so we solved the wolf problem. We go tell the farmer's wife about that. We still need to go plant all of the watchtower posts to show them where to build the watchtowers.
You deal with the wolves, and our farmers will be safe again.
I did that.
The wolves should be back to normal now. There shouldn't be any further trouble.
That's good to hear. I'll send word to the farmers and let my husband know what you've done. It may not seem like much, but you've given this land hope it desperately needed. Thank you.
Maybe I should have had Sarah with me on that one. Might have got a few brownie points with her. I don't know. Solus almost always approves of helping the little guy. Doing acts of kindness like that. I think his general rule of thumb is if you do something for someone freely, without asking for anything in return at all, then he approves of it. It seems to be his basic thing. Alright, so we'll backtrack a little bit. I know we did this in the last video, at least a good part of this, exploring around here, but had I had all that other stuff active, this would have definitely saved us a trip, I guess you could say. Oh well, that's cool though. The scenery's pretty, so no harm done. Run around a little more. Appreciate the waterfalls and the rivers and the sunlight filtering through the trees and stuff. I mean, look at that right there. That's no two trees are alike. I think that's awesome. I think that's amazing. I don't care whether it was hard or easy to do graphics wise. It just looks good. It's really well done. Looks natural. Gives me great hope for the next Elder Scrolls game. I wasn't a huge fan of the Skyrim graphics.
Don't eat the cheek.
Alright, like, well. Anyway, so we finally get back to this path that leads up here to the Ice Rune Cave. But yeah, the Skyrim graphics, I mean, even for last gen, I don't know. I saw some other games that, in my opinion, artistically, some of the features were amazingly rendered, like Dragon's Dogma. There were sections of that game where you would like go in the woods and stuff, and it didn't seem like any two trees were the same. And that was last gen, and it was done incredibly well. And then they had cycles too of day and night, and I was impressed with that. The lighting and stuff. I mean, they did a lot with a little, I guess you could say. They made the most out of their little engine. So Skyrim left a lot of things wanting. I remember walking up to a cave wall and getting close to it, and it would just blur out. It would totally lose all of its texture and rendering. I mean, lazy, I guess. And it looked like Fallout cave walls on top of that, so it's not like some new thing they just didn't bother to
When it is over.
This.
build on. It seemed lazy. Sorry.
The people. How you fought against the tide. It is courageous.
Alright, right here, if you roll as you're falling, you can catch that ledge, or you can just fall down on your face and, yeah, like I just did. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, so, I guess catching the right corner is the easiest way up. Alright, get around here. Alright, one more try. Literally got to roll, and there you go. See, roll and fall at the same time. So, like I said, this leans more towards being kind of a glitch area, but I don't know another way to get to this unless it's something meant to be gotten... Well, that looks painful. Damn, sorry, dude. Let's try that again. Bring your other spirit self out of the ether where I can get hold... Yeah, there we go. Alright, so, yeah, like I say, this leans towards me thinking this is a glitch, but unless there's a time to get up here later in the game, I don't know. But anyway, get right up here, and as soon as you get to the cave mouth, be careful. Should be right here. There we go. And then that little ledge right there, you can get across and walk on that like a platform, but if you fall off to either side, you fall through the map, and you eventually wind up in basically a really, really dark, I don't know if you call it a tunnel or whatever, but there's nothing down there that I could see. And I mean, you're running blind because it's literally pitch black down there, so essentially all you do is just run around in circles, and I'd run in like one direction, and I didn't know whether I was running up against a wall or not. But I did experiment down there for quite a while, and never seemed to get anywhere. In fact, at some point, it kind of seemed like I was just cornered. I had gotten stuck in a glitchy spot. But anyway, that's the mosaic piece. And the 12th one, like I say, is back at the Wolf's Den. It's behind a rock face. I remember seeing that. A guy had gotten into his PC and had gone through some kind of console commands or something to find a way to get behind. He went like basically free roam camera and got behind the rock somehow, and he showed where it was, and it was above, in one of the rock faces above that formed the top of the little hills that surround that cave, and it was behind it, like it's kind of in the middle of it. You know how when you pass through a rock face, it's hollow inside. All the games are like that, you know. It's just kind of like a skin, and it's sitting like right behind it. Of course, it's not something you can reach. You can't access it.
Your boundless optimism.
It's comforting that whatever qualities I lack, you'll invent for me, Varric.
No, really. Why else would an elven apostate help crazy chantry folk close a hole in the sky?
When you put it like that, I must concede your point.
But what if we come back in this game, like to the same spot where we're at right now, and go back to that ice cave, and there's something dug through the wall somewhere that leads right to where that mosaic piece is? Then that, you know, something like that, I mean, I guess it's possible. Things could change. We could come back sometime later in the game, and stuff could happen. People could move in and start mining, or developing, building things. There could be bridges or walkways to an area that weren't there before. And so I will return back to the hinterlands at times and hope that there's some key moment where, I mean, maybe now that we've fixed the problem at the Wolf Den, maybe that's kind of like a requirement, that now that it's safe for people to go there, maybe some people will go there and shack up there, you know, like refugees or something, and go make kind of a home of it or something. Or maybe some elves will find their way there to hide. Who knows? It could be anything. Or some bandits go in there to make kind of like a forward camp or something. I don't know. Just guessing. Alright, conveniently, this is right next to another little kind of side quest thing. This wants us to get 3 of the Great Bear Claws. And the Great Bears they are no joke. It's really not fair what they do with these guys, because they'll spawn out of thin air, usually 2 or 3 at a time, and each one is about as hard as 3 bears put together. So when they for lack of a better term, just click on you, they come out of nowhere and do the old gang mentality. Oh, you're messing with my homeboy. Well, what's up? And,
a great many keys.
yeah, get 2 or 3 of those guys on you at the same time, and it's not fun. When we get down in the Hafters Woods, that's exactly what's going to happen too. And then a few assassins pop up out of nowhere and get in on it. They're not worried about the bears, they're only worried about you too. So you're dealing with these guys who are zipping around, stabbing you in the back, while 3 great bears are pummeling your face. It really gets, you know. Alright, so we got our mosaic piece. Gotten the shards in this area, magic shards, which we're going to need for the next area we go to. I plan on going to the Forbidden Oasis. That ought to be fun. There'll be a lot of running around there, and half the time it's going to be looking for stuff, and the other half of the time it's going to be getting lost. I'll just tell you ahead of time, it's like a multi-layered area. It's really cool the way it was designed, but it has like several levels. It's like a maze that twists. It's like a bowl of spaghetti. All little pathways there. And for those of you that know your way around that place, kudos to you, because I tend to get lost real easy. Especially there's a system of caves that goes left and right and up and down and twists around itself, and you do a big loop and start back where wind up right where you started, and it's like, oh, well, okay, that's awesome. I just ran for the last hour for no reason whatsoever. So anyway, alright, so we got our shards, and we also need to deal with these mages and get them done too. It's really cool. Once the mages are taken care of, all that ambient yelling and screaming and war cries and stuff you hear in the background, it stops, and this place becomes quiet and peaceful. It's actually pretty cool. That the ambient sound actually changes here once all these idiots are taken care of. But let's go discover this last watchtower location if we can get through all these mages. They're like cockroaches here, man. Seriously. And you're attacking me, why? Seriously? Yeah, but you brought that on yourself, too. Once this last post is up, then we go back to the war table, get Cullen to build these things, and then actually we can just come straight back here and deal with the mages, and that'll give Cullen time to finish the watchtowers. And then essentially means going back to the war table, acknowledging that they're done, and then coming back here again, go talking to the horse master and his people, and letting them know all this stuff is finished. So a little bit of traveling back and forth, but it's worth it. How many of these dudes are there? Seriously. Okay, what you you asked for that, Blackwall. You ran right into that as fast as you could. They are pretty good about dropping stuff, though. I'll tell you that. Alright, last one should be up here. I think we can head back to Haven. I really appreciate you guys hanging out if you're still with me on this. I know some of this is maybe just a little tedious. Of course, anybody who appreciates an anybody who appreciates an RPG knows that there's going to be some kind of farming. You know, you're going to collect a little stuff so you can make better stuff, so you can take that and make even better stuff, type of thing. I mean, there's always going to be that element, especially when you have a good crafting system in place. And then, of course, you know, you have to get XP somewhere. You know, bypassing all these little side quests and bypassing all this little stuff not only takes a lot out of the story, it makes it kind of like, you know, average. But it also takes away a lot of the XP, of course, and things to be earned so that you can level and get better stuff and do more things. Not to mention all the hidden rewards that are in with all these little side quests. Extra little weapons and schematics and diagrams and new quests that open up because you helped this person out, so now that's available to you. All that kind of stuff. And so I'm not going to miss all that. So if you're enjoying this is how I play, essentially. Actually, this isn't quite as bad as I normally am. When I'm left completely on my own, I am hitting every elf root that I see. If I detect it, I will turn around and walk back 5 minutes to go get one elf root and then go back to whatever I was doing. Just because I'm not going to miss it, you know, type of thing. I get real OCD about it.
All right.
But you can't knock it because I don't spend a lot of money, and I have a decent amount of stuff, I think. Although later on, I have a sneaky suspicion that I may be investing a little bit in some things like schematics and stuff, because there may be some things that are available only through merchants that I may really want. A certain really cool-looking armor or weapon design. So, I may be buying some of that stuff, and that's going to get really expensive later. I know that. Like, you know, thousands of gold for a single schematic, stuff like that. You know, 20,000 gold for a particular weapon. Not that I probably won't be buying weapons, I'll probably be relying on what I can make. That's usually the case with most games. If you have the know-how and the right materials, you can make something better than anything you're going to find in the game. And that's pretty much been the rule of thumb for any RPG I've played. Alright, so we'll go deal with the mages while Colin is messing with those watchtowers. He'll have those built for us in short order. And if you want to subscribe, click that button over my head. If you want the rest of my videos, click those boxes on the left, Inquisition up top, all my videos up bottom. And I appreciate you watching. Remember to like and share and leave a comment. Say hi. Alright, I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.